so I wanted to make a video to introduce you guys to our new family edition. Also to update you guys a bit on my new, or my current, situation in my arm, my robo hand. So our new addition is this little baby girl named Indy, and she is a Shih Tzu. And I know there's gonna be so many people I'm gonna get so much hate for this video because no, she is not adopted. We actually did get her from a breeder, and I'll explain. So we went through this huge process. We've been on a couple different lists for poodles and golden doodles and all kinds of different dogs that are quote unquote hyperallergenic, because I am super allergic to dogs that have like short hair, and I just break out into hives. I get asthma really bad. I have a vocal cord dysfunction, so my throat literally closes up on me when I'm trying to breathe. It's very, very bad. But we've always wanted to add a dog into our family, so we were on these lists, and whenever a dog would become available in one of the rescues for adoption, we weren't looking for a puppy. I specifically actually didn't want a puppy. I wanted something a little older because they're a little, a little less rambunctious, and I just wanted a very chill dog. So whenever one would come up and we would do the application, and it would turn out that that specific dog, for some reason, would need a lot of space, a backyard, a fenced yard, and you couldn't be living in an apartment. But in our old house, we didn't have a backyard either. We just had like a little tiny front yard, but that just wasn't enough for the rescues that we were looking into, because I don't know, I guess because they were like breed specific. They were very, very picky about where their dogs were going, and I totally understand that, but it just never seemed to work out for us. And then when we moved out here to Miami, we also kept looking at the different rescues, and I looked into random rescues that would have like all kinds of different sorts of dogs, but all the requirements were the same. For most of them, it was either you needed a backyard, a fence yard, and if it wasn't a fence yard, you couldn't have the dog in a house that had small children. It's just always been like a requirement that seemed to just block us from getting a dog that is, again, quote unquote hyperallergenic. And like I said, the reason why we needed a hyperallergenic is because I am highly, highly allergic to dogs that shed, because I have asthma, and then on top of that, I'm allergic to like everything, and my eyes will swell up really bad, and I will get rashes and like hives that will last for, I kid you not, like 2 days. It won't go away. The other day, well, when I first moved out here, I went to the dentist, and this guy brought in a service dog, and I wanted to pet it, and it was a pit bull. And I knew I was allergic, but I love dogs, and I wanted to pet him anyways. So I did. I pet him, and from him just like rubbing up against my forearm, I had like blotches of like rash for 2 days. 2 days. And I was like, oh my goodness, I hope like I didn't catch something or whatever, but it was just, that's how allergic I am. We couldn't go back, like when we were back home, we couldn't go to certain friends' houses because they had like big dogs that I was really allergic to. So anyways, we also had been going to different shelters out here. We actually just went to one this past Sunday, and after a while of going to shelters and seeing how bad I react to all the dogs there, I just decided to have Chris and Mia and Jaden go and check out the dog section, and I wouldn't even go in there, and I just wanted them to scope out the place and see if they had any kind of like long-haired dogs, anything that remotely, seemed hypoallergenic, so that we could check them out. But they had nothing, as usual. It's so hard to find a dog like that in the shelter. And I know a lot of you guys are gonna be like, why didn't you try allergy meds? I've been on allergy meds. I was on allergy meds most of my life growing up. I had very, very bad chronic asthma, and my vocal cord dysfunction was so bad that I literally spent at least 5 Christmases and or Thanksgiving in the hospital, because I was always like on continuous asthma treatments. Later on, they found out it was because of my vocal cord dysfunction that my asthma wouldn't go away, because it wasn't just asthma. But nonetheless, yeah, so I was on so much allergy medication that I feel like nowadays allergy medication just doesn't really work for me anymore. I feel like I've just become like immune to it. So anyways, yeah, the kids have been wanting a dog for a really long time. I can't lie, I really have been also wanting a dog for a very long time. And since I got my surgery, I've always struggled with depression. I've made a few videos before when I kind of like go on like a week or two hiatus where I've just been struggling with my depression. And lately, since my surgery and kind of like being, I guess, like temporary, like disabled or whatnot, where I can't even like cook my own stuff, can't like open a can, can't, you know, pick up a cup or anything with this hand. This hand literally, this is all it does. It moves here and here. That's all. And you see the shaking? That's because my wrist is paralyzed and the weight from my hand is like too heavy for the rest of my arm. So, you know, when you try to pick up a heavy weight and you start shaking, that's what the shaking comes from. I was made this contraption, this like splint by my therapist, who is amazing. I love her so much. She made this so that I'm able to lower my fingers, but I can't bring them back up. So this splint is made to allow me to bring my fingers down, and then the rubber bands, when I let go, will just bring my hands back up. So I can just like grab little things. I have a puzzle here. So I can grab little things like this, but I don't have like the strength to grab anything heavy. And again, like I even have a puzzle because of my depression. So yeah, I've been dealing with like major post-surgical depression. And this little lady here, Indy, has, for the 2.5 days that we've had her, she's helped me immensely, you guys. So I consider her my emotional support dog, because I mean, it's, I don't want to get emotional, but it's true. I knew that, you know, we've wanted a dog for a while, and especially now that I've like, you know, I'm going through what I'm going through at the moment, I knew that it would have been a great time to go ahead and get a dog. And like I said, I've always been more, of course, adopt, don't shop, but in my case, I just couldn't adopt a dog because of health reasons. I just couldn't do it. Also, in the past, I've adopted many cats. Growing up, we always adopted cats. When we had our cat who passed away 2 Thanksgivings ago, Nico, who a lot of you guys have seen on Instagram, who followed me for a long time, you know, I had a cat. We had a cat named Nico. He was a beautiful, so loving cat. He was 10 years old when he passed away. I would have loved to, you know, give an homeless animal, a home, but it was just physically, health-wise, it was impossible. For the rest of my family, it would have been fine because they're not allergic, but I am very, 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 like, super allergic. I just wouldn't be able to handle it. So yeah, that's why we went with this route. Also, it was perfect. We needed like very specific. It needed to be like a little more calm dog and smaller because we live in an apartment. So it had to be 20. We have a 20-pound limit for dogs. And yeah, and the allergy thing. I mean, that was honestly the biggest problem. If I wasn't allergic to short-haired dogs, I would have adopted any dog that I would have fell in love with, or any dog who would have picked us, you know? So, yeah, that being said, yeah, that's what happened. And I know I'm going to get comments of people going, oh, watch, she's gonna, you know, this is the first step and the first sign, because we all know that there's been other YouTubers out there who, you know, get a designer dog and then turns out they're no longer vegan, but that's not the case for me. I have a legit reason why I just couldn't adopt a dog, even though we tried. But yeah, I'm pretty sure I've actually talked about us looking into like rescues and being allergic and all that on one of my stories on Instagram before. So yeah, so as far as the arm updates goes, the arm is not really changing much. It's still not really functional. I mean, I can like do this, move my fingers a bit more, I can rotate my hand a bit. That's because I'm wearing the brace. If I don't wear the brace and I take it off, literally my hand will just go like that. crawls all over the place. I mean, it has no nerve control. There's no connection. The nerve has no connection, and I can't put my thumb up, can't put my fingers up. It's just a mess. A mess. Oh, let me show you my scar. So yeah, the scar goes all the way from the top, all the way under my elbow. So yeah, I've been dealing with a lot, to say the least. So this is why I'm making this kind of like video to show you guys the doggy, to give you guys an explanation, because I know a lot of people get very, very upset, and I totally understand. But also, you know, there is a reason why we went this route, and again, she's been helping me a lot with my recovery. And see, I'm trying to put the sleeve up, I can't even do it with the one hand. So yeah, she's been helping me with recovery so far. I have an appointment tomorrow with my surgeon, and we're gonna find out how much mobility I should be expecting. I've also lost about 10 pounds since this whole ordeal, which I plan on catching back up on as soon as I become a little more active, because like I was saying, my depression just kind of like, I was kind of just laid out on the sofa, binge watching TV, not wanting to do much. So of course my appetite, you know, wasn't gonna go anywhere. So once I become a little more active, I should get a little more appetite, should be able to gain my weight back up and get a little healthier, eat healthier too, because at this point all I can make is ramen noodles and pasta with like just plain marinara sauce. And that's with the help of one of the kids, or Chris, helping me open up a can of marinara sauce, because if I don't have help, I just can't do it either. So yeah, it's been a heck of a struggle. Thank you guys so much for those of you guys who have wished me, you know, a fast recovery and send your prayers and your love. I highly, highly appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much. Don't forget that I will be back to cooking as soon as I can. They told me about 6 months to recover. I'm hoping that's the case, and I don't need any further surgeries, because there is a possibility that I can need a surgery to kind of like mobilize the arm again, to get it moving again. Manual manipulation is what it's called. Or they might have to go in and remove any like bony stuff that might have formed up, or any screws that might be, because there's 2 screws directly in my elbow, so they might need to remove any of that, or I don't know, it's just so much. Also, if I don't get nerve function back, I would need a nerve transfer. But we're not gonna need any of that. Nope, we're not gonna need any of that. We're gonna be good. Everything's gonna be fine. We're gonna recover. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I love you so much, and thank you guys for those of you guys who support the fact that I went with, you know, a non-adopted dog for the reasons that I had, and those of you guys who don't understand and don't support it, sorry. I mean, you have your views, and it is what it is. So I love you guys,